Welcome everybody to the first conversation inside the Healing House. And today we have Nicki, who is a part of the Healing House community. If you don't know what the Healing House is, it's a group of women that have come together having either chronic illness, autoimmune, or honestly, there's some who don't have any illness and are just wanting to be a part of a community of people who see, hear, and understand them. And we have a lot of fun. Nicki will tell you. So if that's something you want to be a part of, I'll give you information down low and you'll be able to join us. So I wanted to start with this. This conversation today is not a success story. It is not how I healed. It's not that type of conversation. We're really getting into this conversation of what the messy middle is, right? What does it look like to be in that middle? And Nicki's shaking her head because it's real. It's real, right? When you're living in a body that doesn't feel whole, doesn't feel like something is going right for you, you're going to have hard time navigating relationships, right? Navigating your emotions and trying to regulate a nervous system that just seems like it's impossible to do so. So we're really going to dig into that. And the intention of this conversation is simple. It's literally two humans getting together and talking. So the Healing House, how it's built, it's a place you come, and the name says it. It's a house, it's a home, it's where you can come and feel well and accepted in that space. So what we're going to do today is I want you to envision this. Whoever's listening, imagine we're on the front porch or the couch with a blanket, whatever feels nice and cozy to you. I want you to envision that because that's where we are right now. We're just two humans. We're going to be talking and that's it. So if you see yourself in this story, just know you are a part of this conversation as well. Okay. And for those of you who are like me, wanting to take notes right now, I want you to stop. I don't want you to take any notes. You can rewind this video. I want you to just be here with us because that's the most important. This is, again, this isn't you're going to leave with an insight. This is just seeing the lives of two people who have been in it, are in it, and really just what it looks like. So let's jump in, Nicki, if you're ready. So
I'm ready.
sweet. So before we get into anything really specific, I want to know, what does being in the thick of it actually look like, feel like to you right now?
It is questioning every movement of my day. Because my issue is with fatigue. So any energy that I exert, I need to be very careful with what I do during the day. Sometimes having to cancel plans because that's too much. I'm not going to make it safely. Like sometimes driving is an issue. Just feeling not safe in my body. I don't trust it. Just questioning everything. And in the end, being so angry because it feels like my body's betraying me. And I don't know where to turn because it seems most doctors are not very familiar with chronic illness, more a little bit compartmentalized. But finding the right specialist healing community to like be heard. I love the healing community because I know I can post on my worst days and those everyone in it believes me, sees me, gives me little like you got it, keep going. Yeah, it's like questioning whether I want to keep going because the quality of life is awful.
Yeah. And I heard you say that the anger, right? I feel that,
Yeah.
right? Like I know what it feels like to have anger from something, right? Something like, it's not like you asked for this, right? It's not like you're
No.
like, ooh, sign me up for this disease or sign me up for
Sounds
this
fun.
symptom, right? Like that's not what we do when it happens. But of course, like anger comes with that. How have you been able to navigate that anger?
Just being very open and honest with the people I trust about what is going on in my head and just kind of because it almost the anger almost compounds. Like you're
Right.
angry at first because you're sick, and then you're sick forever, and then you're just even more angry, even to the point of like, I hate the question, "How are you doing?" Because I'm doing awful every single day.
It's
It's
true.
not like, oh,
Yeah.
today I'm okay. It's
Yeah.
no, I am awful. And it's going out in public and pretending I'm
Right.
okay. But it just compounds because then it's the anger of like, how are you doing? Do you want to do something? No, I can't. And I want to, but I can't. And then it's the anger of the doctors not believing your symptoms, not believing something's wrong. It just, the anger moves and it
Mm.
becomes so huge. It's almost too much to handle.
Mm. No, I can definitely feel that. I know for me, it was when I was sick, I didn't let people in. Like, I didn't tell them
Yeah.
what I was going through. So it was like, I literally would just like pretend like I'm okay. I would go through my day, even though, like you said, I'm dying inside. Like, I
Yeah.
remember it being terrible, like waking up and being like, I've got to go to the kitchen. How am I going to get there? Like,
Hmm.
I'm going to be exhausted, right? And then
Yep.
honestly, like, had that anger, right? You said you get that anger. I remember the anger trickling into my family, right? Because I wake
Oh,
up
yeah.
pissed for the
Yeah.
day, right? And I'm just like, like I remember my wife being like, okay, you're always in a bad mood in the morning. And it's like, I
Yeah.
wasn't letting her in on what I was feeling necessarily at that time, right? I didn't tell her what I
Yeah.
was going through because I'm this hard person, right? Like I can get through anything.
I
And
got
yeah,
this.
yeah, and so I get that, but the anger that brews in because it's like you don't understand what I'm going through, but also I may not be letting you in to know what I'm going through,
Yeah.
or you'll never know unless you've been in my shoes. Like what that fatigue, that tiredness
Yes.
feels like. People don't get it, right? And
No. And
so
that's,
it's hard.
it is. And that's another thing when I'm like, I'm exhausted and someone's like, oh, me too. I'm like,
Oof.
someone that's not
Yeah.
chronically sick. Um, that is infuriating to me because they will never know the exhaustion that I
Hmm.
feel on the daily. Like I just went to Target to go pick up some salt, uh, you know, electrolytes. And it was like, okay, that's the only thing I'm going to do today to get out of the house. That's it. And it's literally a 15-minute drive there and then back. And it's like, I didn't want to go to Walmart because that's too big of a store for me to go in. But Target is easier because it's shorter distance. So it's those kind of things in your head all the time.
Mm.
Think like calculating your energy is exhausting
Yeah.
on the same, on the same level. It's just so many
Yeah.
different emotions. I was similar to you as well, where there is quite a few people that I have not let in to like know exactly what's going on because it feels exhausting to go through my whole story again and
Mm.
then almost feel like I have to prove it to them rather than them just hearing me and understanding. It's something, the invisible illness.
Yeah.
No, everyone says, "Oh, but you look good." I want to throat punch people when they tell me that
Yeah.
because I feel like I'm dying.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
And so,
Yeah. No, and I completely feel that. And I think, that's where some of the anger does stem, right? Like first off, it's not fair, right? Like I
yeah.
know I thought how many times it's like, why me? Like I don't
Yeah.
understand this. Like, and however people want to say that, oh, being selfish or whatever, it's like, no, I think we have every right to say, well, why me? And be able to feel that emotion of like, first off, especially if you've lived your life pretty, I mean, I know you because we've talked, but like you've lived your life pretty active, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Very
not like
active.
you sat on a couch and then developed something. Not saying that's a reason either, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
like the way the world puts it is you will be healthy if you do these things, right? So
Yep.
when you do these things and it doesn't result in that, well, what's up with that? Like I thought I
Yeah.
was doing everything correct that the world told me, right? The doctor said, eat these things, be active, do whatever. And it's like, and then you end up with an illness. It's like, are you kidding me? Well, what was the purpose of all that, right?
Uh-huh.
So of course I feel like anger is just all throughout that, right? Like through
Yeah.
everything of just being like pissed, like why is this happening? Like I want a good life, but I can't even live a good life because I feel like shit, you know?
Yep. Yeah, because everything sucks to do. Everything.
Yeah.
The other thing I was gonna say is it's also mourning the life you had before you got sick.
Mm,
Like I used to hike mountains, I used to run, like I would run marathons. Like not everyone
yeah.
chooses to do that, but
Yeah.
that was my like emotional. I love being outside, I love camping, anything outdoorsy. And I cannot walk around the block right now. And that
Mm,
is infuriating. I just want to walk my dog again. And
mm,
I hope to get there someday, but it's mourning that I was a snowboarder. Like this is the third season that I cannot go
mm,
snowboarding because I can't do it.
yeah.
It's just awful. And there's such a grief along with that as well.
Yeah, that you almost have to process too while navigating illness. I mean, that's another thing,
Yeah.
right? You're going
While
through the
fighting for your
symptoms.
life.
Exactly. So how has that really impacted relationships? Because I know for me it really impacted it a lot. Like how does it affect? I
Yes.
mean, I know you're married, I know you have a child. So how is that affecting your life in that
Oh,
way?
luckily my husband is my rock and he is so supportive and he has taken on everything that I can't do, like taking care of our kid, making him dinner, doing, taking him back and forth to whatever activity or birthday party. Um, Also, like with friends, I don't hang out with a lot of friends because I don't have the energy to do what they're doing. And so it's so lonely. I
Mm-hmm.
have a few friends that check up on me, but it's just, you're always like, they're like, how are you doing? And then you're like, I'm shitty. I'm
Yeah.
awful. And like that also gets exhausting hearing. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, how many times are they going to like hear that and still
Yeah.
be my friend? So it's a lonely world too, because I definitely go silent when I'm really struggling. And I've done that on the healing community too. Like when I'm not posting, like I'm in the deep, thick of the sickness,
Yeah.
just feeling awful.
Yeah. No, and I feel that too because that's my pattern to do as well, right? Like it's something I'm still navigating, unlearning, right? Of
Yeah.
the when I'm struggling, I tend to hide, right? Because I mean that's what I had to do. That's my survival pattern. Like just go alone, you'll be okay, you got this, right?
Yeah.
Instead of leaning into other people, right? And realizing that others can help. But in that moment, that's not what you're thinking. You're just like, I don't want
No.
to hear, say, I don't want to be around anyone. I just want to be in this like recluse shell, right? Like because it
Yeah.
feels safer for some reason,
Yeah, it does.
you know?
And I feel like I've, like become a hermit because I
Mm,
also don't want like somebody hears something that sounds like me and then they're like, have you tried this? And I'm like, I've been trying everything for 2 fucking years.
yeah.
And of course I've tried that. Or it
Yeah.
like just doesn't have anything to do with me and my symptoms. But and again, they mean well. But for
Of
me, it
course.
makes me angry because I'm like, do you
Yeah.
think I'm just sitting here like feeling like I'm dead
Yeah.
or dying? Like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
And there was a point in time where I was bedbound for like a few months. I couldn't get up and get myself water. I was afraid to be alone. Because I thought I was going to die. And so if my husband was working, I asked my parents to come and stay with me because I couldn't take care of myself and do anything because I thought I was dying.
Mm. That sounds absolutely terrible. It's a lot
Yeah.
to go through.
Uh, Thankfully, I'm no longer bedridden, but I mean, I still, a day in my life is luckily I work from home, so I work and then I go to bed to rest. Like I have to rest if I do anything throughout the day. I have to kind of like do a thing, rest, do a thing, rest if I want to make it to the end of the day.
Yeah. So basically rearranging your whole life based off
Hmm.
of what your body has shown you, right? Like if it's shown you, hey,
Yeah.
I can only tolerate this many hours, well, then I got to make sure that I plan my life so that I can do that.
Yep.
Has that been almost
Yeah.
like
And
a new thing too, of like learning that and learning your body and what it needs
yes.
and doesn't need?
Yep. I have relearned a lot of things, like asking for help that I
Mm,
was
I get that.
never did that. Like I learned that. I learned to love myself again and be okay being
Mm,
alone because there was so much loneliness and crying and
mm,
depression and all the things. But um, I've learned to be okay with being by myself and doing things that I can do. It looks different than before, but I've really kind of embraced like my artistic side and jumped into that, which I love. And I haven't done that for a while because all I would do was active stuff. So
got it. Yeah.
finding new ways to find little bits of joy in my life, but it is still a daily, daily struggle
Yeah.
of surviving the day. That's what I feel like my days are. Because when I get to nighttime, I'm like, oh, I survived another day.
You survived. I bet a lot of people can resonate with that statement. Because I know pulling it, I've been there, and the night was like my favorite. Honestly, to tell you the truth, the night is one of my favorites still, because I think I remember feeling like I just want to get
Yeah.
tonight. If I can just get
Yeah.
back into my bed, we're golden. Like I'm gonna
I'm
feel
always
okay.
like,
Exactly.
is it
Always.
bedtime yet?
I get it. I get it, right? And you know what's crazy to me, like I feel like I've still like learning to slow down and learning to rest
Yeah.
has been, it's almost like that's what the illness taught me, was to be able
Yep.
to do that. Because before the illness, nothing was stopping me. No one was
Yeah.
stopping me. Like I was gonna go, right? And I can say that is a good thing, even though it was
Yeah.
very hard to navigate of slowing down, because now I almost feel like I slow down to make sure that my body doesn't go back into a place, right? And
Yeah.
so I've learned to just, this is my new normal, and it actually feels good, right? It didn't feel good at
Yeah.
one point. It didn't feel, because I felt like I was
Yeah.
missing out, right? I was missing out on my life, on who I was. But
Hmm.
it's funny because you mentioned the whole grieving of who you used to be. And I feel like there's like this, you grieve because you lose a part of who you are. You lose the identity of who you were before illness, right? Because you're
Yep.
gaining almost a new identity. People see you
Totally.
completely different, right? Like either they
Yeah.
see you with like, oh my gosh, I feel so sorry for you, or like
Yeah.
whatever it might be.
Fragile.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
they change who you are to them. And so then you have to grieve that. But then a process is, once you're able to love yourself and figure that out, you're able to almost accept this new version of who you are. But
Yeah.
that's almost past the messy middle, right? That's the thing. The
Yeah.
messy middle is that place where you can't almost see light at the end, where you're like, I don't see any of that, right? Like people say things to you and you're like, okay, yeah, don't see it. Nowhere in
Yeah.
sight, right? But, and I think that that's what's the, like, I feel like that's what's so frustrating about that messy middle, is that you want to see that, you want to believe that's possible, but like nothing is showing you, right? If you're much of like a intellectual person, nothing in front of you shows you that that's going to happen,
Yeah.
so then
Yeah.
you're
I've
just
been
like,
told to
yeah,
hold on, keep going. And I'm like, for what?
or
I
what?
like, I don't feel like I'm ever going to get better. And I've had people like, some doctors that I trust are like, keep fighting. And I'm like, really? Like, for what? But they're like, you will be able to heal. You will be able to heal. But like, just being in the thick of it, there's no hope in it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just so hard. But I have learned, like, even though it's been the shittiest time of my life, I have learned really good lessons, like advocating for myself, knowing that there is something wrong with my body, and not listening to the doctors say there's nothing wrong.
yeah.
Um, and so just advocating for myself, being grateful for the time that I have, just by myself, and learning to love
Mm.
myself, and fighting.
Yeah, I love that. I love pulling lessons, and one of the lessons that you said, I think it almost ties in again, this place, because I know you and we've talked before, but I know when it came to having a voice, that's something I struggled with a lot, right? And
Yeah.
it's almost funny how when you get into illness, guess what? You're
Yeah.
learning that voice. You're learning
Yeah.
because you're having to put boundaries to people,
Oh,
right? To say, nope,
totally.
not, I can't, like, I cannot do anymore. You're having
Yeah.
to advocate to people who don't listen, right? I mean,
Yep.
you're literally doing everything that most likely were afraid of, or maybe you didn't feel safe, and now you're having to step into that. And it's beautiful that
Exactly.
you've like pulled that lesson out of that, that even through the darkness and probably the worst moments of your life, you're able to
Yeah.
pull something from that, um,
Yeah.
as a lesson.
Yeah. Pre-illness, like I was go with the flow, accommodating everyone else, like setting no boundaries. So yeah, I learned what a boundary was.
I get that.
And they're fabulous.
Yeah, they sure are. They sure are. Oh my gosh, let me tell you. For me, I got sick, and then I they told me I couldn't have kids, and then I was able to have a child. So the moment that I was able to have a child, and I was whole, like I had him inside of me, that was when everything shifted. And I was like, oh, I've got to put a
Oh,
boundary. Like, hell no. Like, I'm
yeah.
not going to let that happen to him the way that it happened to me. And it's like, I had to start putting boundaries of saying no to certain people that were probably
Hmm.
causing my illness, right? Like all these things.
Yeah.
And it was I mean, it was very, my boundaries were like this. Like it wasn't really a boundary, but it was all I
Yeah.
knew how to set. But through the years, it allowed me to gain the strength to be able to set boundaries, right? And
Yep.
it's crazy how something like that. My belief is your body does this for a reason. It's
Yeah.
truly to say, hey, I'm screaming, like, you need to stop, or you
Yep.
need to set that boundary, or you need to do those things. Like, you deserve more. And I think you said it. Ultimately, at the end of the day, is loving yourself. If we
Yeah.
truly, truly love ourselves, we're probably going to make decisions that are going to benefit us, right? But if there's that lack, right, of maybe we love ourselves in some moments, but maybe when we do things that, are shameful or people have put it in that, well, then that love might go away. And then guess what? It makes it hard, right, to love yourself.
Yeah.
But you said it, you're like, I learned to love myself through this. And that's huge, right? I mean, I know that's a lifelong kind of thing that we do. But it's beautiful that you also pulled that out of this whole experience.
Yeah. There's a little glimmers of hope through the darkness for sure.
Yeah. And let's speak on that hope, because I know you mentioned too, there's glimmers, but there's also almost no hope in sight, right? Like you had that same,
Yeah.
both of those feelings where you're like, okay, yeah, I see it, but then it's like, no, it's not there at all. What do
Hmm.
you like, what has helped you kind of hold on to that hope without like forcing something to happen?
My family, honestly. Like my husband and my son, I'm like, I have a fabulous family. I need to keep
Mm,
going for those two and my parents as well. But they are the ones that have kept me hanging on. Because there's so many times that I didn't want to go on. Like
mm,
it just I was like, I am done. Like I'm useless. That's what I'm just laying in bed. My husband would force me to drink the protein shakes and he would, and I just didn't want to eat and he would, no, you have to have 3 a day. And it just, yeah, the little glimmer of hope is like, I have my family.
mm,
Also, like kind of journaling about stuff
mm,
and just writing down whatever comes to mind, what I'm angry about, and then
mm,
burning it
I
is
love that.
amazing because then it's like you write all these emotions out in your anger and sadness, and then you literally watch it disappear. And so it's such a nice little like visual of like, I'm
Yeah.
letting that go.
Yeah, I love that. That's such a cool tool, and I use that a lot,
Yeah.
especially for people who struggle with using their voice, right? If that's something that they
Yeah.
hasn't felt safe, write it down. We don't
Yeah.
realize that your mind really and your body just needs you to like to say it. And sometimes it's putting it down on paper, and sometimes you can read it out loud. Sometimes it doesn't feel safe, right? Whatever really works for you. But that
Yep.
whole thing of like, I'm gonna get it out of here, right? So it's not living inside
Hmm.
of me eating me alive. I'm gonna get it on paper and then I'm gonna burn it. And this is almost
Yeah.
like this resemblance of like it's going away. I'm letting it go
Yeah. Like it's
finally.
out of my body.
Mm, I love that. Yeah. That's good. You found some ways, and that's what you need to find are ways that how can I continue to go, continue to hold on to that 1% of hope, even
Yeah.
if it's negative, it feels like sometimes, still holding on even by doing some of these things you've done.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very helpful. And being creative too has
Mm,
like, been a great outlet for me because throughout this whole journey of being sick, I tend to like future trip my health and spin out of control, thinking like, what do I have to do next? Oh my God, what did I eat that like made me feel awful?
mm,
And it's like these what ifs, what's going to happen next? And even like getting a diagnosis, I'm like, is that the diagnosis? Like
mm,
I was grateful for that, but then I'm like, what if there's more? Like
mm.
just the future tripping of it, so staying like creative and positive ways to consume my mind instead of like, honestly, I don't like the weekends anymore because
Mm.
I have too much time to myself to think about my health and it drives me crazy. I would rather be working because I love my job.
Yeah. Yeah.
The future tripping is a killer.
Yeah. I can imagine. I can imagine. I know when you're in it, it's constant like trying to figure out a diagnosis, trying to figure out an answer
Yeah.
of why am I feeling this way, going online and nonstop, and then creating
Yeah.
yourself. You're going crazy, right? And I think that's something people don't talk about either is the trauma that happens like trauma may cause illness, right? Like the way life happens may cause
Mhm.
that. But also, when you're in it, there's a lot of trauma that happens. I mean, you're
Yeah.
gaslit a lot, right?
Yes.
It's like you know something's wrong before it's wrong, and they don't listen
Yeah.
because nothing shows on the labs. Of course, it's not going to show
Yep.
yet because you're the one knowing something's off with my body, right? So you have to deal with that. Then the aloneness, right? Like no one
Yeah.
understands, but also
So
people leave,
lonely. Hmm.
right? You or you
I've
either
had a
get
lot of
that.
people leave me. Yeah.
Yeah, you get the initial though. The initial everyone comes, right? Everyone's like
Yep.
there. And you're like, okay, there. And then all of a sudden they're like they get tired, like you mentioned. They get the
Yeah.
fatigue too of like asking you and you're saying the same thing over and over again. And it's like,
Yep.
so then you're alone. And then the trauma of, oh, I can't eat this. Well, what if I eat this? Well, okay, this scares me. And now you're
Exactly.
scared to eat. You're scared to
Yes.
like anything. Any weird symptom comes up after a different meal. You're like, that was it. That was
That was it.
it.
Can't do it. Yep.
Can't
Can't
do
have
it.
eggs.
I know, can't do it. I get it. I mean, that is a huge thing that I'm currently navigating is allowing myself to eat foods that I have not eaten because at one point I couldn't, right? It was the way to decrease inflammation. It was the way to feel
Yeah.
better. And it did help. But now I'm navigating the part of, okay, now I'm going to reintroduce these things that once caused inflammation and doing it in a safe way so I don't cause inflammation on stuff that, because it's hard. It's really hard to navigate, and people don't realize you almost have to go to rehab after feeling better too, right?
Yeah.
It's like a rehab
Yeah.
because you've
And
changed your whole life.
food is like a double-edged sword because
Mhm.
introducing new stuff is very exciting when your diet is so limiting, but
Yes.
then you're scared of it because you're like, oh my
Yeah.
God, I feel my stomach right now. It doesn't feel good.
Mhm.
It doesn't like that. And then you're like, oh God, what are my next few days going to be like? I've eaten something before that I shouldn't have eaten, and I was so sick for a week after that.
Yeah.
It
No,
just,
I
it's
get that.
the scariness of food, but also the happiness.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I'm eating cashews now. This tastes
Yeah. Woo!
amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I totally get that. Totally get that. But it definitely is a scary place to navigate, but it's also the reality. And I think that's why it is
Yeah.
good to be surrounded by other people who are even in your same position, maybe a few steps behind and a few steps forward, right? Because if you're only with one person, it's too much, right? If you're with someone, it might be
Yeah.
too much pressure to get to that place. But if you can see yourself in other people, or you can see, hey, I've been at that place, that gives you hope in a sense because you're like, well, I've been there and
Yes.
I'm not there anymore, meaning maybe there's hope for me, right? So it's
Totally.
important to be with people who understand because if not, man, it is a lonely place to navigate all of
Yeah,
this.
for sure. That's why I love social media because that's where I actually found people that talked similar to how I'm
Mhm.
feeling. And I was like, oh my God, that's me.
Yeah.
And it did bring me hope that maybe I can heal too. And just hanging on by a thread every day to that, like maybe it's possible. And also, like, just being here for my son, my
Mm,
husband, like, that's so important to me. So,
yeah.
they are a huge support system as well as the healing community and everyone that's in it. Because you can say whatever you want. I'm having the shittiest day of my life. And everyone's like, you know what? You got this. Or like, I get it. I've
Yeah.
been there. And it's nice to know that other people, I'm not alone, is
Absolutely.
the best feeling.
Yeah, I love that. And I think what you said there is a great way to end because you said, maybe it's possible for me too. And I understand that maybe, right? Sometimes people say, oh no, don't ever say maybe, right? You just say it's possible. I get that.
Yeah.
But some of
Yeah.
you have never been in this situation to understand that
Yeah.
there is some doubt. And I think that we
Yeah.
need to acknowledge it's okay to have doubt, right? It's okay that we're human. We're human. We're going to have
Yeah.
that. But you believing that maybe it's possible to heal, right? Maybe it's possible for me too. Like I think a lot of people can resonate with that because I think that that is almost what helped me too was like seeing others and I'm like, well then maybe that could happen to me.
Yeah.
Like
Maybe that
maybe,
can be me. Please,
yeah,
please pick
yeah, right?
me.
And it's okay. It's something, right? We only need 1% of belief and hold. Like we just need something to be like, well, maybe this is possible to really like hold us together and get us through. So I love that.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, Nikki, is there anything that you lastly want to share before we end this?
Yes. As much as I said this about the struggle and feeling defeated, I would say to anybody listening, keep fighting, keep advocating for yourself because you will find someone out there that will listen to you, hear you, and treat you. And it's possible. And anyone who says no, say thank you next and
I
find the
love that.
next.
Hell yes. I agree. Goodbye. I don't need you right
Yeah.
now.
Deuces.
Exactly, exactly. No, I love that. I love that. Well, awesome, Nikki. It was so great to have you. And thanks for being raw and real and just being here, right? Because people just need that sometimes. I know that, right? Like it's nice to just be human with other people. And so
Totally.
and the reality is for those listening, like you don't need a takeaway necessarily, right? Sometimes we want to listen to something and have a takeaway. I just want you to know
Mhm.
that if you were here, you were present and you felt seen even a little bit, that's
Yeah.
enough for your nervous system. That's enough. That's all your nervous system needs to really say, okay, maybe healing is possible for me too.
Yep.
And even if you're in the middle, it's okay. Even if you're still figuring it out, you're exhausted and you don't know how you're even going to get up the next morning, it's okay. We're
Oh,
human.
mornings are the worst.
Yeah, exactly. We're human, okay? And just know that you're not alone, right? And this is a perfect example that there are other people out there like this. So, for those of you who want to be on conversations like this, I'm going to put my information below so that you're able to contact me and just to get on a conversation. And for those of you who want to join the Healing House, I'll put that down below. But thanks for listening. And again, join us the next time for another conversation.
Thank you, Vicky.